We are going to talk about, hold on, the four mindsets. All right, so today we're talking about the four mindsets. It's an adaptation of Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant. Right, we're going to talk about the four mindsets of labor. All right, and we're going to do that right now. So let's rock and roll. We're going live. We are live, so get those questions and comments in there, and we will respond to you immediately. Hey, welcome back. So today we are enjoying the, I don't know the name, Yellow Ribbon by Definition Cigars. It's a delicious line. I love the red the most so far, and this is the fourth of the series. I love the red and the green. The gray wasn't bad. It was good. And this one has just been lit. But let's talk business because that's what you're here for. Um, Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant talks about the employee, the self-employed individual, the business owner, and the investor as if they are labels, as if they are identities. And what I never want you to do is take on an identity because psychological issues occur when you take on an identity instead of recognizing that you're playing a role. So let's talk about the cash flow quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, but let's talk about it from a mindset perspective. One, employee. An employee is someone who is looking for an opportunity to do work for pay, and that's it. Um, Pretty nice. An employee mind doesn't necessarily see the opportunity to do something for themselves. They don't see. I won't say that they don't care, but for them, it doesn't have the same value as it does for the entrepreneur type, and that's okay, because if you're going to grow your business, the employee mindset, the employee is someone who you are going to need. You are going to need to create jobs. You are going to need to create opportunities for such people. But you need to understand the mindset in order to effectively hire them, onboard them, train them, and incorporate them in what and how you do your business, right? So, one, the employee mindset. Two, the self-employed mindset. This is a person who thinks that they can do it bigger and better on their own than their employer, or they realize an opportunity to make more money than they would make as an employee by working for themselves. Um, the self-employed person is effectively someone who usually just needs a little more freedom. They may or may not think business. They may or may not think about scaling. They may or may not think about investing. They may love what they do or love what they did on a job and see an opportunity to own the job, to be in far more control of their time, their effort, etc. And that's okay. A lot of times, the best example for this are consultants. Being a consultant and at a point of maturation, I can absolutely say that there's a difference between the consultant who is happy as a consultant, right? So instead of having a job, as Robert Kiyosaki would say, you own the job, but you still answer. You answer to the client. Their goals are your priority, and if you don't have a passion for helping other people achieve, if you do not have a passion for having a positive impact, if you don't really understand the value of the role you play, then this may not be for you. And that's okay. Right? But I wanna shake things up a little bit by talking about the cash flow quadrant of Robert Kiyosaki in the form of mindset. Let's talk about the mindset, because everyone is different. We all have different backgrounds. I mean, I've been running an experiment recently, and I've bumped heads with people of different mindsets and different experiences and different agendas. And that's okay. What we have to do, though, and this is important in every facet of your life, so I want you to hear this. I'm not going to say it twice, but I might say it twice because it's tremendous. Okay? What you have to do is learn that you don't have to understand somebody else to respect them. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to like them. But respect, I think that's what's missing from our society. Back to class. So, after the self-employed person is the business owner. Now, what's the difference between somebody that's self-employed and someone that owns a business? Someone that's self-employed is actually employed by the client. They're engaged or hired by the client, right? They just happen to own the LLC under which they operate, right? The business owner is producing a product or service, hopefully has a well-laid team around himself or herself, and is focused on scalability. How can we do it bigger next quarter and better next quarter than we did it this quarter, right? And one thing I always jump all over when we talk about quarters, whenever I hear about quarterly performance, I think about how you get there. And how you get there is weekly performance, monthly milestones. Like, are we on track, right? We want to exceed the quarterly goal, so each monthly goal needs to position us to exceed it, and therefore each week we need to be performing our butts off. Our little tushies need to be just breaking a sweat, right? Because it's all about the end result. It's all about the impact. It's all about exceeding goal, right? That's what it's about. In fractional sales consulting, in the long sale, the 6 to 18 month sale, this takes time, right? The client usually at 4 to 6 months starts saying, where are we? Well, you're still getting a dedicated focus on driving the results you want to grow your business. Business. Coming full circle, we're going to jump right back into topic because, I'm an old guy. I stray a little bit sometimes, but I'm always, when I stray, when I go left a little bit or when I go right a little bit, it's because I want you to better understand something. All right? So let's talk about that fourth labor mindset, which is the investor mindset. A business owner isn't necessarily on track or expected to or focused on becoming a serial entrepreneur. The investor is. The investor says that with my labor today, I can save and I can invest in things that produce positive cash flow for me that will allow me to save and invest at a larger scale. You don't have to ever start a business to jump to the investor phase. This is where Robert Kiyosaki and I disagree. It's not a ladder. It's not a pathway. Employees can move to self-employed or then to owning a business, then to investor. No, man. No. With the right planning, with the right thinking, with the right work, you skip all around the board. Who's going to stop you? This is America. The kid with the $80 million trust fund, you think he went and got a job before he started investing and buying companies? No. Don't limit yourself. I don't want you to have any limits on your thinking or what you believe you can or cannot do at all. I don't know if you heard me clearly, so I think I'm going to say it again. I don't want you to have any limits on what you can or cannot do. If you don't know if it's legal, call a lawyer. If you don't know if you're allowed to do it according to the tax code, call an accountant. Correction, call a certified public accountant. You want to be specific. Listen, your success is very important, right? And no matter where you are in life, it's not where you have to be. Nobody said you're stuck. And anyone who told you that who you are or the job you hold defines you lied. Or they were misinformed and shared misinformation with you. It's bull. Whether you just want a paycheck and a cold beer, that's fine. That's fine. Except that with that, you have to work a minimum of 40 hours a week. Work. You. Physically. All right? Whether you're at a desk or in a ditch, you're working for that every week. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're strong. I hope you're fit, because you're going to need to keep it up. Yeah. Maybe you've done a job. You've sat at a desk for someone else, and now you realize that there's a real need in market, and you see a different way of approaching it. Well, go ahead. Try it. Nobody's stopping you. And if they try to stop you, write their name on a little piece of paper and keep it in your nightstand. Right? People who didn't believe or didn't see it. Right? This is not a hire an assassin and kill them later list. Right? This is just a list of people who you remind yourself of who you're proving wrong. And you go out there and you chase excellence, and you chase greatness, and you work your butt off to do what you've never done before. You don't know if it can be done. You want to know if it can be done? Go out there and try to do it for money. See if people pay for it. That'll tell you if there's a value, if there's an appreciation, if there's a need for it. Now you got an opportunity to grow it. Could you turn it into a business? Perhaps you're thinking business-minded. Perhaps you see it a little bigger than yourself. It's more than just a self-employment opportunity. It's an opportunity to have some impact, to deliver something of value or of benefit to the marketplace, to create jobs in order to do it bigger and better. That's awesome. That's great. Do it, build it, run it, scale it if you get the chance. And with your profits, live your best life. For some, that's going to be luxury cars and vacations around the world. And for others, it's going to be our fourth mindset, which is investing. Maybe you realize that while your job or your business is a great idea or opportunity, you want more. Whether you want more money or whether you want more freedom, which on planet Earth costs money. Go after it. Don't let anything stop you. Right? Just be okay with sacrificing to get it. Be okay waking up earlier or going to bed later. Right? Whatever resonates with you, whatever's real for you. Right? I typically 6 hours sleep a night. I'm in bed about 1 or 2. I'm up about 7 or 8. Right? It's a matter of, do I have an appointment that morning? Listen, I'm a night owl. I've been that way since Temple University. Be yourself. Right? Oh, most billionaires wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning. Oh, that's great. Most people wake up early. Night owls, we're just a little different. Be you though. Nobody gets to define you. God breathed breath into you. He put a purpose in you also. And no matter what your mindset or your station in life, I hope you're living it. This is Rich Laster. We got no questions today while we were talking, but we're around. At Grow Expand or at the Biz Grow Pro. For me personally, if you have any questions, any way I can help, we're working on some stuff and trying to figure out how we can help you bigger and better. Do a little bit more for you, a lot more easily. Stay tuned. Glad you tuned in, and see you next Sunday.